Hey guys, what's up? And welcome back to part 3 of the origami scooter tutorial. So, in the last part, part 2, we had this, but we did not have this headlight here. And this detail is hard to get, so I'm going to show it on a bigger piece of paper. We had a flap coming up right here, but I did it already. So I'm going to show you how to do that to start. And you can just follow along right there on that flap. So this is the flap that we have, and we're gonna start by folding this edge. This will not be there, it's just this flap that you should have. So we're gonna start by folding over diagonally like that, and it's gonna go from that corner like that, and it's gonna fold along this edge. Like that, so that this should meet right along there. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna fold and do the same thing in the other direction. So go from that point like that and unfold. So we should have that. Now we're gonna fold this edge and fold it to the line we just made. And take it and fold it right to there like that. And unfold. Then we're gonna fold this edge down. So that's what that should look like. So we have these creases. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna fold this edge. We're gonna turn it over and fold it down all the way like this. And we're going to swivel up. So these edges will not be loose on yours, but we're gonna take this raw edge here. This will be connected to the paper on the other side. We're just gonna swivel up along that bottom crease like that. So it was there, and this swivels up like that, and you can crease through. And on the other side, this will still be joined with the paper. So we have that. Now we have this pocket in here. We're gonna reach behind and unsink that out. So if we open this up, you should see we have that. We're just gonna press that out, unsink it, and bring it out. Just like that. So it was down in there. We're gonna bring it out like this. Like that. Now we're gonna fold over, and we're gonna make a crease from that point down there up to there, over like that. So that's what that should look like, and then you can flatten this. You don't have to. Because now we're gonna do the same swivel on here, but with just the raw edge. So pull the raw edge out, and we'll do the swivel up like that. It's the same thing we did on the other side, like that. And then unsink this edge. So the point in there, just like we did last time. Well, another way you can do it is by grabbing that edge in there and just pulling it out. Like that, and making a mountain fold from that point to the edge, making that ballet mountain, and then fold this flap up like that. And so now we're going to take this edge and fold it over like that. Up to there. And now we want to make a crease that runs parallel to this. So that'll be along from that point in there. And just try to keep it parallel down. There's not a lot of references for it. And it's just through this layer and the raw edge. Like that. You don't need to crease up at the top there. Just from this point down. Like that. Now we're going to unfold, flip it over, and do the same thing right here. So fold from that point over, and you can see where we made it on the other side, like that. And then unfold. Now what we're going to do is we have this flap in the middle. We're going to open it up so the raw edges are in the middle. And we're going to take this point, put it down, just squash fold it. Like that. So it should look like that. Now what we're going to do is make a mountain fold. And it's not going to, the mountain fold isn't going to be to where these points are. It's going to be a little farther to where these edges were. So it's going to go from that point all the way to where this edge was at that point. So just fold it behind. So it looks like that. So again, it's on that point where we made those creases. So now for the next step, what we're going to do is take this and fold it down like this, and we're going to squash this over and then crease like that. So this should be along that crease we made. It should line up neatly at the edge. Then this line should line up right there. And then we'll do the same thing right here. Fold this along that edge. So it looks like that. And then we'll get this point. It should come to there. And then you can crease this point to both sides. Like that. Now, we're going to make a valley fold along this crease right here. And just fold it down. And that'll cause, once we do that, we're going to take this pocket and press it out and just flatten like that. And this should extend a little bit beyond that. And we're going to take this and fold it up like that. And now fold this entire part up. So we should have something that looks like that. So we're going to do that again on this side. So take this, you can fold it over like that. Right along there. And then we're going to take this edge, press it out like that, and flatten. And then we're going to take this, fold it up like that, and then fold this back out like that. So this is what we should have. Now what we're going to do is all of these edges, if you take this up, you'll see we have all these points like that. This goes down to there, and you can kind of see a box in there. The correct way to do it is there's a lot more folds down here that are more complicated, but there's an easier way I find to do it, and that is just to make all these outlines of the box and then just wrap all the edges behind it. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna show this now. if you want to see the actual way to do it, you can look up the diagram. But I find this way a lot easier. So let's do that. So first, what we need to do is you'll notice that we're not able to wrap it around because this edge is trapped. So let's flip it over and fold up on this flap here. So if we just fold this up like that, right there, should look like this. Should have that there. Now we can wrap the edges around. So we'll start on this corner, and we're just gonna open it up and press around like that. And we're gonna make mountain folds on all those other folds, like that. So we just wrapped around it. And what we're gonna do here is this edge is gonna go on top of that. It'll just go nicely on there. And then this edge can fold over like that. So that's just tracing the back like that. And then if you see this, you can just tuck that into there. So that's all neat in a corner like that. So that's one corner. It's just tucked underneath there. And we can, for this corner, we're gonna lift these layers up, tuck this behind it, and then fold it down like that. So that's what this side should look like. This is tucked in behind there, and then this is all tucked under there. Then once you have that, you can just fold it over like that. And that's what it should look like. That's one side of it. Now let's do the same thing on this side. So again, we take this point and press it out like that. Make a mountain fold along these creases. And then first we're going to tuck this behind, all these layers behind that, right there. And then we can fold that down. And then right here, this will go behind like that. So once you have those wrapped around like that, you can fold down on this. And for now, we can just fold this to the side. And then fold down right here. Alright, so we should have this. And now for the last thing to kind of lock this corner in place, you can fold it back behind if you want. And that'll make it so that you can't round these corners as much. So what I like to do is take this part right here, squash fold it. So open it up to the inside there and squash it. And then stick this point inside like that. So now you can round off these corners and the end, all like one unit. So this is what it should look like. This should be folded down, and then this is the finished headlight. Now the only thing you have left to do is just to round it out. So I like to do it on this one. It was so small I didn't have to do very much, but on the bigger one, you can just first start by folding the corners behind like that. This corner. And then this corner. Like that. And that'll give it kind of a rounded shape. And then for here, there's not much you can do, so I kind of just crimp here, because this will get more of the non-colored side. So what I like to do is just crimp like that, so that you can see the outline of it, just like that. Then do the same thing on this side. Just do a crimp. And then just round out the rest of it. Kind of like that. So the headlight itself is round, and then you have these little parts sticking out of it, kind of like this. This is what I did for mine. So essentially that's what you do here for that. But now we can continue on this model now that the tricky headlight part is done. Alright, so now that we have finally completed the headlight, we can start on this part. So what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna make a fold from this part, and we're gonna fold it all the way over like that. So with this part, we're gonna take all of these layers right here and fold them over, tracing along the back edge like that. But I like to do it one at a time because I think that's the best way. So I'm just gonna take this, just fold that behind. And then here, you take this one and match it. And then right here, you can match this one over it. And that one. And if you open this up, you can crease that. And then fold. So it's really just about getting all of them over like that. And making that fold right there. Now what we need to do is take this and fold this overhanging part that came over, because this is going to be over a little bit, and we're going to fold that over on the middle line. So should look like that. Right there. And once you have something like that, what we're gonna do is we're gonna sink all of it. So unfold that, and we're just gonna sink it in. So open this up, and I'm gonna start on this end here, because this will be easy. This is just gonna be a closed sink, so just go around this like that. Press that mostly in. Like that. So that's the first one. Now we have these two. So I'm going to do these next. Making sure that these are all parallel. Like that. And then you can turn it over and look at that small one. then do the same thing to this. And what you can do to check this one is if you fold this over, you'll see it should look like that. Pinch around the outside like that. Make sure there's line up, and then you can work on the bottom right there. So that's what that should look like. Those sinks, and the bottoms should line up. Then open this up, and we can do the last sink that's around here. So roll this one. This one will have a bigger line around it. This. And you can fold right here. You can fold this over to see where the line is. Then I'd unfold it because it's harder to collapse with that. And just continue making these creases all the way around. You're going to want to make sure that these are even right there. Those. So now press this up. And now we can work on that tiny part in there. For this, it might be easier to flip it over and follow the lines. And just collapse that in. So it should look like this. Then this should be flat like that. And there we go. So that is the sink that we were supposed to do through all those layers. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this and fold the first layer up. Crease that, and then fold the second layer up like that. Right there. And we're going to do kind of the same thing here. We're going to fold over. And you can bring this part, if it was behind there, you can bring it around. Bring this over so you can see where this lines up. Or how I like to do it, fold this over and then match it on the other side to get it the most accurate. Like that, and then fold the tip back over. Now unfold and open this up and sink them both in. Like that. and then you can fold this back over how it's supposed to be. Just like that. Now we're going to take this flap, and we're not going to fold it down on that axis there. We're going to fold it down a little bit before. It should be on this flap. We should have this marking right there. Should be around where that crease is, right like that. So just fold it down right there. And what this will allow us to do is when we have this, we're going to pinch this back here, and we can pull this out, and when that opens up, should do the same thing on the other side. We can just squash this into position right like that. So it was in there like that. We're pinching here right like that, and we're pulling out to there. And then this should flatten and extend it up. So now this should be extended. It shouldn't be around that axis anymore. It should be swiveled up like that. So now the whole thing is just slightly offset. These are right there instead of being right there. And they are, the second one's a little bit shorter. So it should look like that. So now what we can do is we can just fold all these flaps down along that new axis right there where that one's shorter. Just like that. And it should look something like that. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna fold these flaps down, and they're gonna be, the creases are gonna be kind of difficult because it's gonna be around here, just like that, wrapped around the entire thing. They're gonna go, the creases are gonna go along here. So find where this is, like that, and the creases are gonna wrap around, kind of like that. But we're just creasing them, we're not leaving them there now. So just kind of take it and just wrap it around where that is. And then right at the top, you can kind of just fade it off like right there. Now you can take these flaps up. At the top you can crease it a little more. So that'll be the top of the bike. And now we'll do the same thing on this side. Take these flaps and just wrap them around. And it should catch the edges of this part a little bit. So it should look something like that. So if these creases were to fold down, this would be the body of the bike right there. So now we can unfold that. Alright, so once you have that, another detail I forgot to mention is this part right here. This should, you can pull out the raw edge from there. Do that and then just reverse fold this over. So that looks like that, so that it matches the other side. Just something that I forgot to mention. Alright, so now what we can work on is down here. So what we'll do is make a crease that runs through here. And it's going to go through this point right there on that X. Like that. And it should go to about right there. There should be a crease already right there. That shows kind of where it should go. So it's just kind of like that. Through that X and then off that point. And we'll just fold that behind. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side, but there's not a reference. So what you can do is just kind of hold it up to that other side like that. then just fold it over like that. Then they should match fairly well. Like that, so that's what the other side should look like. Right there. So now, we're gonna make a crease from this point right there, I think, to that point. So, fold this up, and this is just a crease up. And it should be to where the new axis we made right there is. Just fold that up. Should go to the center. And it should go to that point on this side. When you fold it up, it should go to that point right there. And that should make it even. So that's what it should look like. Now you can unfold. And we can take this and make another crease that runs along just this part right here. So make a mountain fold right there. Just like that. And that complete on this. Kind of like that. Should look like that. Now, what we can do is flatten that, and this is where we can start to swing it together. So this part right along here, we're gonna make a crease that comes right on there. It's kind of already there. That if you can't find it, there should be lines going there and there to show where that should go, and make that crease like that. So this should swing, so that's at a right angle. And now this part right here should fold down like that, and that can stay on top of there. Now what we can do is wrap the rest of the body down like this. So that's what it'll look like. Right like that. So now, what we can do is we can take this part right here, and this is going to be kind of like a plow part. And this will just kind of come out like this. You can make little creases on it. And these will wrap behind like that. Then this can kind of come out like that. So that should be the front of it. And what we can do here is these can kind of bend behind like that, and then like this. So you can see those. Now what we're gonna do is right here, we're gonna turn it over and look at these pieces, these parts, and you want to make sure that they're even, so they're kind of going to the same spot. And you're gonna fold each one almost in half, a little bit less, so it should be something like that. So around halfway. And then reverse fold it in. So take this. This is why it should be a little less than halfway. And then just reverse fold in. This part's kind of to taste, like that. So then there's one kind of handlebar. Then this side, we'll reverse fold in the other way. And now, this entire top part is going to fold down a little bit. And then the handlebar, you can kind of shape that. Just kind of round it out. Like that. You can adjust them a little bit. I'm going to do that a little bit off camera. But now, what we can do is we can work on this. So, this right here will kind of tilt back a little bit. So this is, this part, will kind of tilt back a little bit. And then we can work on this. So this part right here, we're going to kind of take it and crease down the middle like that. And then open it like this. And it should kind of come over it a little bit. You can open that all the way in. And then kind of take this part and fold it behind. And I like to round it out a little bit. Kind of like that. So that that just comes over it. The handlebars at the top of the scooter. Like that. So that's what that top part should look like. And now what we can do is this can kind of adjust like however you want it to be. I kind of like it right there. And now what we're going to do is take this, and you'll see along the side view right here, we're going to make a crease. You should see there's two lines there. It's going to come right through there. So kind of flip this up along that pivot point, which should be exactly where that maxes out. And then it'll kind of be from there a right angle, so kind of like that. You can reverse these folds, but I wouldn't do that too much. So just like that. So just, that'll kind of come up like this. And now, we can bring it right here. We'll make a crease from this point down there to that point. So you kind of flip it back around like this. And then the same thing on this side. And we should get something like that looks like that right there. And now for this last step to get the back of the scooter in place, what we do is we're just going to make a mountain fold along here. and just bring it around to there, like that, and then do the same thing on this side. So that should show the back of the scooter. Should look like that. Right there. And now with this piece right here, you can kind of just fold this down. Curl that to how you like it. Kind of in there. And I'm going to fold the tip behind. So now we should have something like this, and now we can work on the wheels of the scooter underneath. So we're gonna look at this kind of like this way. So the longer one in front should go up, and they're kind of gonna split like that. Right, so to make the wheels, we're gonna first take this flap right here and fold it over. Just like this. Then we're going to go up to this top flap right there, so the head is here. And we're going to take this and fold it over, just like that. Then open it and reverse fold inside, like that. Now we're going to take this corner and fold it behind, just kind of like how that one is, like that. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side, just fold it in. Like that, and then take this edge and fold it in. Like this. So that's what that part of the wheel should look like. So now, what we're going to do is we're going to fold diagonal creases like that, like that. So fold over, kind of this point, like to that point over. This should go down like that. So there's one, and then do the same thing on the other side. So we made that X right there. And now, what we're gonna do is just take this whole thing, fold it in half like that, and along these bottom creases, put it right there. And then fold it over, like that, fold it back the other way, and that's the wheel that goes at the front, like that. That'll just stay there, and then the wheel well up here will kind of just come over that when you shape it. So now you can do the same thing for the back. So I'm going to do this one faster. So just fold this over, actually this way, fold this over this way. Reverse fold it, fold these edges in, like that. Take this edge, fold that in, make the diagonal creases come down. Position. Fold it back and forth. So that's the other wheel, like that. And now that they'll be kind of out of position until you shape it, and then this will come down like that. So that is the scooter, and this is all the steps there are. So that's what it should look like when you have this. What you should do is, I'm not going to do a full shaping tutorial, but what I would do is just put dots of glue to hold these together. That's really all it needs. And then just glue this up to the top, and then shape the wheel well out a little more so that it will come behind. Like that. But that is the main finished scooter. So, it should look like this in the front. These can wrap behind, then the wheel well can shape that to the wheel. That's the headlight right there. The handlebars can adjust a little bit. That's the cap that goes right there. This is the back of the scooter. It should look like this. So there you go. That is the Origami scooter. I think if you want to lock it together a little bit more, you can fold these behind. Like that. Just fold those edges under just to lock it together. Like that. And it should stay better. So that is the scooter. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you have not, so that it helps a lot in support for videos like this. And comment below if there's any more models you want me to make. And see you in the next tutorial.